For now, if you watch this, the way you find the challenge, by the way, is you go to play, and then play online, and it shows up here in the most unintuitive spot ever. Like, why would they put it there? Oh wow, you are playing the English, okay. I have no idea what to do. I'm just gonna play e5. I kind of want to play f5, but I feel like that's just too crazy. Just bring my knight out. I have no idea what to do here. Almost just blundered this pawn. Guess I'll bring out this knight in order to protect it. Then I can bring a bishop out, bring my other bishop out, and castle. Okay. We could take, and then he recaptures, I capture, and his queen gets nicely centralized. I don't really love that. What if I push? And then he can't take, so his knight comes here probably. I don't like that very much either. I'm going to take. I'm not gonna capture the knight just yet though. Let's pin his other knight, I think, maybe. Or let's go here, but then he just takes. Let's go there. Okay, he takes anyways. I don't really want him to prevent me from castling and trade queens, so I'm going to take this way. Even though it kind of is weird for my pawn structure. So I can castle whenever I want now. I could also play here, and if he takes, then I can recapture and get my center back. And if he doesn't take, then I'm threatening. Well, let's kick away his bishop first. And if he takes it, then I'm going to take with my queen so as to not ruin that pawn structure. So now I'm threatening to take this and win a pawn. So he defends it, which makes sense. Okay, what do I want to do with this bishop? I'm kind of considering coming here and pressuring this pawn, but then he plays here. And then what, I play here maybe? And if he takes, then I take, and I guess he takes here probably. And then I take here, but he takes. I guess he can't still because it's pinned. Let's play here first, I think. In order to undouble the pawns, and then if he takes, and if he doesn't take, then I can try and push it forward and win his knight. I guess he can play e3 to block against that, and he does. Okay. Now maybe I bring this knight, or bishop rather, here and try and kick his queen away. It has to stay watching the knight. It probably just goes here, so I don't think that's super useful. Maybe I play it here, and if he takes, then I take his bishop. And if he doesn't take, then I'm just going to take that pawn. I kind of like that. Oh, maybe I should have played queen e5, and that pins this pawn, and then I can play this. Depending on what he does next, I might try that. I actually can't take this now because he can take with his knight and fork. I think I have to take the knight. And then I have to trade queens because if I take this, he's going to take this. But then I could take this, and that actually is interesting. If I take this though, he could also trade queens with me here and double my pawns, which wouldn't be great. But I feel like he wouldn't do that. I feel like he'd go for this. So let's imagine he does this, then what? His rook is kind of screwed, right? He'd have to move it like over here. I kind of like that. I guess he could move it here and it would be here and it would be defending. But then I can just castle and I think that's fine. So let's take. if he trades this way, it's not the end of the world either, so probably it's better to just trade the queen off and then take. In fact, it's like almost 100% better because it would leave him with a weak pawn on c3. But that's kind of a boring endgame, so. I mean, I probably should have done that anyways because my endgames are trash, so it would be good to practice that, yeah. I'm surprised he didn't go for this pawn. I feel like Pranav really likes to go for these pawns on the 7th rank. Protect the pawn and prevent him from infiltrating here. Let's come over here. So I'm preparing to play d4, maybe? Play this to block him from coming here. I think I'm going to play c6 in a minute and try and get these two pawns to be protecting each other. I don't like that my king is the only one protecting both of them right now. Interesting. Yeah, my pawns, I think, are just too weak to do anything good in this endgame. Let's maybe come here. Protect this pawn a bit more. I think he might play here, in which case I'm going to play there. He might also go for this pawn. Oh, he's going to move that forward. That's interesting. I think my goal is just going to be to win this game on time. I like that neither of us can take the other's pawn because the pawns are both pinned to the king. I think that's kind of funny. Okay, so now he is threatening to take my pawn. I could take his, but then, well, take. That doesn't seem amazing. I guess maybe I can give him a check and try and get into his territory after that. He's presumably going to take. Interesting. That's not what I was expecting, but okay. Right, good game. Let's go for the rematch here. Let's play e4. Just reading a message from work. Do I really want to play the fantasy again? Not particularly, honestly. Let's go with an advance. Bishop f5. I know there's supposed to be a lot of theory here, but I have no idea what it is. Isn't the Tau variation like h4? I literally don't know what the point of this move is at all. I just know that this variation has a name. So let's go ahead and play it. Gotham mentioned it in one of his recent videos, so, you know. Guess I'll bring the knight out now. Bring my bishop out. If he trades, then I'll take with the queen. I'm not sure where this knight is going to go. Oh, okay. He does want to trade, which is fine by me. This is a nice square for my knight or bishop now. Let's put the bishop here. His knight is going to come here. Once his queen moves, of course. Yeah, but where's this knight going? Because I can't really come here and then here. Interesting. I could just give away this pawn and then play here and go after his B pawn in return. Kind of like that idea. Obviously, I'm not like trapping the queen by any means, but I like that my rook is going to be on his 7th rank, and I'll be pressuring this square. Oh, he doesn't go for it. Okay, his knight can come here or here. Oh, he's threatening this, but I have 2 defenders on it. I'm not really sure what he's threatening, honestly. Maybe I just want a castle. But which way? Maybe I bring my knight here, and then his queen moves and I come here, but then he takes and splits my pawns apart. I really don't know what white's ideas are in these positions. This pawn's weak and this pawn is weak. I'm just going to castle short. And then I think I'm going to start building up this way. So if I play a3, he could take this, and then if I come here, he takes this pawn as well, and then I take this. And I'm not convinced about that. So I'm going to play rook b1 in order to prepare these two moves. I'm going to start launching my pawns down on the queen side. Maybe he's going to play f6. Then after takes, I have to move my bishop away. Well, interesting. He's going to play there first. So now he's got 1, 2, 3 attackers, and I have 1, 2 defenders. I could drop this knight back. I could hit his queen and then try and take this. If I take, then his bishop gets in, or his knight, which doesn't look great. Wait, so if I move my knight here, and then he takes, I take with the knight. He takes with this knight, I take with that knight. That seems good. I feel like he might push the pawn again to c4. Then we'll have a very closed position. If he does that, I'm dropping my queen back to d2. Oh, he takes, okay. I'm gonna take with this knight, I guess. I don't know if it matters if I take with that knight. I didn't think about him taking that pawn. Okay, where do I want to move my queen? That's the question. I guess here? No, because then he just comes here. I have to keep in contact with my own knight. Let's come here, I think. drop back here to set up a discovery on the queen. Now I'm threatening to come here. And then after his queen moves, oh wait, no, he takes that with check, damn. So it doesn't work. I could move my king though, and then I'm threatening to do that. I was kind of expecting this move. Can't I play here, and if he takes, then I just take with the rook? And if he takes here, then I take here. And his queen has to move anyways. I guess his queen might move here. He moves there. That is interesting. Suppose he wants to trade. What if I take here, he takes, I take, he takes this. I take this with check. And then I take this and I'm protecting this guy. Seems decent. And if he takes my queen, then my bishop just comes back. And if he doesn't take that pawn and he like castles or something, then I will play c3. Interesting. I was expecting, I guess castling the other way doesn't make much sense either. Now my queen defends that pawn. And I can get my rook over to defend it too if necessary. And I'm just going to try and throw my pawns at his king. Or play rook e1, hit this guy. This pawn is under attack too. That seems super passive. Maybe he wants to play this. What if I play here, and then here? Let's go for this, see what happens. He's got to keep protecting this pawn. So he might move like here. I don't want to trade queens just yet. Let's come here, threatening this check or to take this. Okay, let's get the other rook involved, and where do I want to put it? Here or here? Let's go here, I think. Then I can play this. And he can't take because it's been to his queen. I don't really see what the point of that move is, so I'm just going to play this still. And if he pushes it, then I take with the rook. Let's take it. Let's give the check. I guess I'll take this. Let's try and get this rook attacking down the c-file. He's running out of time also. Okay, I'll try it. I'm gonna play here. And let's come here. Guess I'll defend it. I don't really like to do that though, it feels kind of passive. Gonna push. We can trade it off. Cool. That was a close game. Okay, I can do one more. Can't go down to full time like that though, otherwise I'm going to be out of time. That's an interesting move. Let's just come here and unpin. It's fine. I can't take here because after that I'll only have one defender and he'll have two. Let's bring the queen out maybe. Feel like he's gonna take the pawn, but who really knows what he's planning? The man's an enigma. Okay, let's take here. It's annoying. Because he's still got two attackers on here, this pawn. So I think I have to come here and force a queen trade in order to not lose that pawn. Because now I'm X-ray defending this. He also can't take it because his queen is hanging. And if he takes it this way, then he loses his queen still. Take with the bishop, that way my knight still defends this. This knight has very limited squares. If he doesn't play this or something similar to extricate it, and I play b5, that knight is dead. So just keep that tactic in mind. He either needs to free up this square for his knight, or take this square under control somehow. But these two squares I own with pawns, or kick away my bishop. But unless he does this or something else, I still have this move, and his knight is still trapped in that case. I feel like he's gonna play here. Oh, he doesn't. Okay, so let's play this. And even if he takes here or something, then I'm just gonna take this. Oh, I needed to take the other way first, didn't I? Damn it. Now it's just a trade. I almost did that too, but I didn't. I should have taken, like, I have 7.5 minutes. I can't believe I fucked that up. That was such a good tactic too. Oh well. And I can't castle because then I would drop this. I can't play that or I lose this pawn. Let's play here, I suppose. Damn. This is what happens when you play too fast. You lose your free knight. What would have happened if I had taken this? I guess he would have taken here, and then I take here, and he takes here, and so I lose these two, and he loses these two. So I guess I did make the right play, actually. He just had a good defense. I'm forced to take with the king or lose my rook. Castling, I think, is kind of unnecessary in this position. We play a lot of queenless games. Like, our queens get traded off very soon. Now rook b8 looks nice to prevent his bishop from going anywhere, because it'll drop this pawn. And rook c8 also looks nice to try and attack the open file. I also like bishop b5 to pressure this pawn. I think perhaps I should try and trade off the light square bishop and then put all of my pawns on light squares. And I will be the only person who can fight with a minor piece on both colors if I keep my knight. Let's go here and hit this pawn. Interesting. It's not what I was expecting. Guess he wants to leave me with an isolated pawn. Well, as I wanted, his light squared bishop is gone, so okay, well, he's clearly planning to double up. Let's come here. I wanted both light squared bishops to be gone though, and me left with the knight. Now we have this opposite colored bishop endgame, which I don't really know how to play as well as I think I would have done with the knight still on the board. And we're getting close to the time when I'm gonna have to call it quits due to my meeting. Guess I'll play here. I think this is pretty drawish, but I'm so far ahead on time that maybe I can turn this into a win. Okay. We take those. All right. I don't have time for another one. Good games for now.